Ladies and gentlemen, as the sun dares to rise with a new day, so too must we have the audacity to rise above the realms of our existence, to unleash the boundless potential that resides within us. Within each of us lies an untamed courage, a fierce resilience, and an unwavering strength. But let me ask you something. Have you ever given in to fear? Have you allowed it to paralyze you, to bind you in chains, to hinder your journey to greatness? For those of you nodding, you are not alone. Fear is an inherent aspect of our human nature, a primal instinct that stirs within us. But ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that there is power in fear, a force that can transform us if we learn to confront it? According to Stoic philosophy, an ancient school of thought, we should keep our fears to ourselves. This does not imply that we must bear our burdens alone, but rather it encourages us to face our fears head-on. By confining your fears within your mind, you are creating a private battlefield, a testing ground for your inner strength. As you grapple with your fears, you foster resilience and courage. Each fear that you face and conquer is a victory, a testament to your thriving spirit. Now let's talk about desire. Desires are the fuel that ignite our dreams, that push us to strive for more. They whisper promises of a better life, of grand achievements, of unrivaled satisfaction. Yet desires can be a double-edged sword. They can propel you towards success, or they can lead you down a path of unending longing. Stoicism advises us against sharing our desires excessively. Why, you may ask? It's simple. The more we cling to our desires, the more we become enslaved by them. The key is not to eradicate desire, but to master it, to utilize it as a tool for growth without letting it consume us. The mastery of desire cultivates inner virtues such as wisdom and self-control, allowing us to maintain balance in our lives. Regret, a stinging reminder of our past mistakes, often leaves a bitter taste. We all have regrets, don't we? Things we wish we could change, words we wish we could take back, opportunities we wish we had seized. Stoic philosophy, however, suggests not to expose our regrets to others. Instead, it encourages us to use regret as a tool for personal growth. The past cannot be altered, but the lessons it offers can shape our future. Each regret is a chance to learn, to improve, to become the best version of ourselves. So instead of dwelling on your regrets, allow them to inspire change. Let them be the stepping stones on your path to self-improvement. So we have discussed fear, desire, and regret. Now I invite you to ponder on a trait that has seemingly become a norm in our society: praise-seeking behavior. We often find ourselves fishing for compliments, yearning for validation, thirsty for applause. Why? Because it feels good to be admired, to be acknowledged, to be seen. But Stoicism advises us against this. It encourages us to find contentment from within, to seek approval not from others, but from ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, in this quest for external validation, we often lose sight of our worth. We look for it in our achievements, in our possessions, in the eyes of others. But the truth is, our worth is not determined by the applause we receive, but by the strength of our character, by our resilience, by our ability to rise after a fall. The Stoics were wise in their teachings, urging us to shift our focus inward. Instead of seeking praise, we should strive for self-reliance, for it is in independence that we find true freedom. It is when we stop relying on others for validation that we begin to see our true worth. Our strength, our potential, our greatness resides not in the words of others, but in the core of our being. In conclusion, the teachings of Stoicism, though ancient, hold relevance in our modern lives. They guide us in managing our emotions, in cultivating virtues, in relying on our judgment. But most importantly, they lead us to the path of contentment and inner peace. As we journey through this life, we are often confronted with our reflections, images of ourselves that are not always pleasing to the eye. These images can be distorted by vanity, a trait that masks our true self underneath layers of pretension and falsehood. Stoic philosophy offers a remarkable antidote to this vanity: humility. Humility, ladies and gentlemen, is not about demeaning oneself, but about acknowledging our limitations, recognizing our flaws, and committing ourselves to constant evolution. Humility teaches us that we are works in progress and that there's always room for improvement. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of modesty and humility, directing us to focus on cultivating inner virtues rather than seeking external validation. It nudges us to sharpen our inner qualities, to strive for wisdom, empathy, and moral integrity. It is not the accolades we receive, the applause that greets us, or the praises sung in our name that define us, but our actions, our ethos, and our character. Now let us turn our attention to a powerful emotion that has the potential to consume us if left unchecked: anger. Anger, in its raw form, is an emotional response to perceived threats or injustices. It can serve as a catalyst for change, a driving force for action. But when it spirals out of control, anger can become destructive, damaging relationships and hindering personal growth. Stoicism encourages us to manage our anger effectively. It teaches us that anger, like any other emotion, is within our control. Instead of letting anger rule us, we should rule over it. It is not about suppressing this emotion, but about understanding its root cause and addressing it constructively. When we learn to manage our anger, we tread closer to leading a virtuous life, a life driven by reason and guided by wisdom. Another habit that can be detrimental to both our personal growth and our relationships is gossiping. Gossiping, more often than not, involves discussing other people's lives, their flaws, their mistakes. It might seem harmless or even entertaining, but it is a pitfall that encourages judgment and breeds negativity. Stoicism advises us to avoid gossiping tendencies. It urges us to practice kindness and empathy, to understand rather than judge, to help rather than criticize. Imagine how the world would be if we replaced gossip with constructive conversations, if we replaced judgment with understanding, if we replaced criticism with kindness. It would be a world where relationships are built on respect and mutual growth, a world where personal development is prioritized over idle chatter. Stoic philosophy underscores the importance of exercising control over our words and actions. If we cultivate the habit of speaking with kindness, of engaging in meaningful conversations, we foster a positive environment that facilitates growth and nurtures relationships. It's a reminder that our interactions with others should reflect our virtues and our values. At the heart of Stoicism is the belief that our self-worth should be independent of external validation. We have been conditioned to seek validation from the world around us. We long for likes on social media, praises at work, admiration from our peers. We often measure our worth based on the approval of others, but Stoic philosophy encourages us to shift this paradigm. It encourages self-acceptance, self-improvement, and self-reliance. We need to recognize that our worth is not determined by external factors, but is inherent within us. It is about accepting ourselves, flaws and all, and committing to personal growth. It is about measuring our worth by our values, our actions, and our character. When we free ourselves from the need for external validation, we step into a realm of self-empowerment, a realm where we find contentment within ourselves. In essence, Stoicism teaches us to look within, to find value in our virtues, to manage our emotions, and to lead our lives with wisdom and humility. It reminds us that we are in control of our lives, our choices, and our happiness. It guides us towards contentment and inner peace. It encourages us to be the best versions of ourselves, to be true to our values, and to lead our lives with integrity and courage. As we continue to delve deep into the essence of Stoic philosophy, we must recognize that the path to self-improvement and self-reliance is not about creating a facade for the world to see. It's about understanding, accepting, and improving oneself. The world today is interconnected more than ever. People share their lives, their struggles, their triumphs, and their fears with the world. But Stoicism encourages us to keep our fears to ourselves. Why, you might ask? Is it to project strength, to hide vulnerability? Quite the contrary, ladies and gentlemen. It is to use our fears as tools for self-improvement. Stoicism promotes the idea of confronting these fears privately as a way to develop resilience and courage. Imagine the strength we accrue when we face our deepest fears, the courage we foster when we emerge victorious. The fears that once seemed insurmountable become surmountable, not by avoiding them, but by confronting them head-on. Desires, on the other hand, are an inherent part of the human experience. They drive us, motivate us, inspire us. But Stoicism cautions us about excessive attachment to desires. It warns us that this attachment can lead to suffering, to disillusionment. Stoicism emphasizes the cultivation of inner virtues like wisdom, temperance, courage, and justice over the pursuit of fleeting desires. Our past, with its joys and sorrows, successes and failures, is a part of us, but it is just that, the past. Dwelling on it, especially on what could have been, serves no purpose. Stoicism advises us not to expose our regrets to others, but to use them for self-improvement. It encourages us to learn from our past experiences, to use them as stepping stones towards a better future. We live in a world where people seek validation and approval from others. This praise-seeking behavior can hinder our personal growth and self-reliance. Stoicism encourages us to seek contentment from within, to find happiness in our actions and our virtues, rather than in the approval of others. In conclusion, Stoicism offers us invaluable insights on managing our emotions, cultivating virtues, and relying on our judgment, leading us towards contentment and inner peace. It teaches us to be self-reliant, to be at peace with ourselves, and to always strive for self-improvement. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Stoic philosophy. I hope these insights help you in your quest for personal growth and self-improvement. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn more about such philosophies and how they can help in personal growth, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. Your support will ensure we can continue to bring you content that sparks inspiration, fosters growth, and helps you navigate the journey of life with wisdom and courage. Remember, the journey towards self-improvement and inner peace begins with a single step. Here's to taking that step together.